Hello, everyone. This is McCoy welcoming you to the BLT podcast. I am joined, as always, by.
OKR 2004.
And today we have a new guest. Finally, right? About time someone other than Gawain was a guest on these podcasts. Introduce yourself.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy, TC, Team Charm.
Yep, the charm is here and ready to sprinkle in a little bit of that charm into the podcast. Why don't you? All right. Last time we covered the draft. This time, I already gave you the power rankings and all my thoughts on it. Thoughts on the power rankings I put out on the thread, guys.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I think I saw it for a little bit as well.
Hmm. Did you agree with our placements, or would you? Is there anything you would like changed?
I mean, unbiased, I think Fragment's team probably should be a little higher. I think they had a really solid draft, and their lineup, top from bottom, is very solid. And then
All right.
obviously, I'm going to say that the Draco Fishes should be number one.
Of course.
I think the Iron Bundle should be number one.
Ah, there it is. That little drama into what happens during the tour. We'll see about that as the tour progresses. So, week one just dropped, and we already had one match played. So we're gonna rank and predict 39 other matches to rank for you guys. It's gonna be a long one because we're gonna talk about all these players in full detail. So,
This isn't going to be as long as other weeks because all we're doing is predicting.
I mean, it's still. Yes. Well, you know what? You're absolutely right. So 39 matches to predict out of 40. Not bad for our first week, am I right?
There's no revealing yet.
No no.
So this is going to be short.
Hey, yeah, that was very short. All right. First off, the first matchup on our list here is the Flame Slinger Skeleturgis going up against the Phantom Troop. Two very purple teams fighting each other out in a classic battle. Classic fire battle, if you will. So, first off, in SVOU, we have a highlight match. Michael Best versus Lax.
Wow. That's a start.
It,
Pretty solid game.
it is without a doubt a classic among classics waiting to happen. Two of the best, well, for in Lax's case, he's already one of the best, and Michael Best, it's in the name, best. So about these two, so about these two actually, I have been linked in extra sheet by fragments, and it is the Smogon Tour 35 standing. So another layer into the wrinkle of how these players perform in SV, how they are in the terms of the current metagame, and hopefully a little bit of background into how are they gonna prep it as the weeks go on in BLT. Michael Best is currently 33 points in SV, or no, 14 points in SV, 33 overall. Very impressive. Lax is not far behind with an average of 12 points in SV, 29 points overall. Very good record. Very nice points to have. So, guys, who would you predict?
Personally, I think Michael will win. I'm super high on him. Before he kind of came onto the tour scene and got super famous, he used to just be a random battles grinder, and he was top 10 of every single random battles ladder. I think even now he's still top 10. He might even be top 5 of the 9 ladder. But I'm super high on Michael. I think he's really solid. Obviously, Lance has been super good for a very long time, too. But I'm going to Michael.
Okay, Art?
Okay. I mean, I feel like this could go either way. But I guess Michael.
All right, so both of you are going for Michael.
No surprises last wins though.
I am gonna be the
I don't
betting.
think it will be a blowout.
Yeah. I will be the betting man though, and I will pick Lax. Despite Michael Derbest being ultra good in current random battles, I think Lax is a general more better grasp of SVOU than Michael is right now. Comparing both of these, I think Lax is little more adjusted to the meta than Michael. Not saying Michael is bad. I think Lax could easily pull this off, but I won't be surprised if Michael wins.
Yeah, I think that's
Fair.
fair. I think they're both very solid players. I think everyone will be hoping for just a good game, but I'm very high on Michael, so I think he will win. But
That's
we'll
fair.
see.
That is also fair. Next up in SVOU, we have My Java versus Mashing. Thoughts on this game?
So I actually don't really know who Manchin is. I don't know if he's just new to the tourist community in BLT or if he's a new player in general. Um, Obviously, I would probably lean my Java just because I've seen him play a lot more, and a lot of OU. I don't know if y'all know anything about Manchin.
I sort of. I don't know about how new he is or anything, but it's a name I've heard. And Uber slash OU player. I hear mixed. I hear mixed things about how they play though.
So, looking at My Java versus Mashing in terms of the S Tours performances, Mashing is currently 10 points in SV and 16 points overall, while My Java is 11 points in SV but 12 points overall.
Oh,
So, yeah, so as PokeArt mentioned, Mashing is more of an Ubers and OU player. My Java is more strictly an OU player, and this one is kind of a toss up. There are ups and downs on who you could make the argument on who's the better player of the two. For me, though, I think I'm gonna stay with the tried and true OU player and go for My Java. I think My Java has the success he had from before, and due to the fact that he has played OU for a very long time now, has incrementally experienced, made him experienced enough to be more confident to pull off a win. Mashing could pull off some neat tricks though. Mashing could pull off some neat tricks though, which we'll have to wait and see. All right.
I think my Java has been
Mm-hmm.
consistent, which is important. He's always been consistently solid for also a couple of years or so. Going back to when we had him on the turn twins, he helped carry us to the BLT title.
Yep. Now one of the very factors.
I'd like to. I'd like to chime in with that as well. He was on Lapras last year, and he did quite well.
So yeah, we're all big fans of My Java around these parts. So I think My Java will win this particular matchup.
I think so too.
Next up, we have Fogbound Lake versus Inder in SV Ubers. Oh boy, highlight match out the window, ladies and gentlemen.
I would probably go Linder. I actually just was told that Compound Lake is apparently a big time player and plays some like SEL and other tournaments, but I played him in the qualifying stages and I didn't think he was that good. I mean I was also playing on a home, so sometimes if you're playing like a random person, you might play down to your competition. So I'm kind of 50-50 here. I just don't think I have enough knowledge to make a reasonable prediction, but I'd like to hear what y'all think.
All right, Pokehart.
Um, Don't look at me. I'm not too familiar with either player.
So, okay, so both Fogbound Lake and Inder do have points. They're kind of starting off in the S tours, with Fogbound Lake having 4 and Inder having 9. Um, Fogbound Lake is a player with a lot of hype surrounding him. Gen 9 has been kind of a good meta for him, according to some players, and has really improved in the Ubers community scene for quite a while. Inder is good. Like I've seen more. I've gotten to research a lot about more Inder's plays, learning out how he plays and all that. I think he's good. I think he can hold up well owned into the current Ubers meta. I think I want to go Fogbound Lake on this one, just because the more fresher, the better. For this situation, I think the fresher the player, the better, and more just getting to know that meta a little bit more. I think Fogbound Lake has that little bit of an edge, but I think Inder can easily pull this off.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be a little biased. I'm gonna go Fogbound Lake because he also has a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon nickname. That's another place you go in the game. So
Go Ted.
Team Charm is also from Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, so I'm going Fogbound Lake.
Go
So,
Ted name. Shout out to Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. So yeah, Fogbound Lake, I think. Oh, yeah.
fantastic.
All right, Fogbound Lake. Next up, SVUU. We got Just Drew versus Unzips Kroger. Very interesting matchup, this one.
Yeah, I personally would go with Drew here. I actually don't think this one will be close. I know
Mm.
Drew decently well from the UK community the past couple of years, and he's extremely passionate at UU, more so than most people I've met. So I know he'll be trying super hard, and Unzips Kroger, I'm not too familiar with, besides seeing his name in a couple of certain tours here and there.
Mm.
I believe he's in UFPL.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm managed in the FBL. I guess we just haven't played him yet.
Mm. So yeah. So Unzips Kroger is in UUFPL, but I do agree, Charm, that Just Drew has had a little bit more of experience in SVUU, and I think I'm gonna go with them as well. I think they're generally the better player. Between these two, I would easily favor Just Drew. Very solid hand in UU. The Skeledirgers definitely have a good hand on them when they drafted Just Drew, so I totally am confident that Just Drew is gonna win here.
What do you think, though, Pierre? Do you have any information on Switch Kroger?
It's just that I can't stop people from barging into my room.
Anyway, going back.
But I don't actually have that much information, but I've seen him play. And I think in terms of skill, I would say that Just Drew is probably the better player. I don't think it's by that much, but Just Drew is definitely he's definitely more experienced in UU, so I think he should have this.
Yeah. All right. We're all in agreement that Just Drew should take this matchup pretty easily.
Not easily, but he should take it.
All right. SVRU. Tear Acid versus Dunox. Two players who haven't been really known in the RU meta, but apparently a lot of people have seen them play very well.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that Dunox is in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Yu, I suppose he just probably likes the meta a little better than current SVU.
I feel like if you're gonna put someone in UU on Dunox instead of Unzip Kroger.
I think it's the mind games in week one. The lineups do change. Maybe.
Yeah, I think Dunox in general is just a really solid player. I actually don't know much about Pierre. I've seen him around a lot, but I haven't personally seen too much from him. And I know Dunox is a really solid player, so I personally would lean Dunox.
stuff about tier, but Nicoy, did you say they're struggling a bit this gen?
I did say they're struggling a bit. They are a little bit like the dicey in the singles tiers right now.
Ah,
So yeah. So Poker, this looks like a Dunox for you as well.
yeah, Denox for me.
I agree with you both. I think Dunox is definitely the better player here. Even though he's not playing UU, Dunox has had very good success in the lower tiers, just enough for me to push him to even try RU, like even try out a meta that he is rarely touched. Um, you can correct me all that you want in the comments, but still, I would pick Dunox here in a heartbeat as well over Tier Acid.
Yeah, here's the thing. I feel like we're kind of still in the exploratory stage of SB, so players are still figuring out their favorite meta and what they kind of want to main. So if you would have any mains who loved SSNU, absolutely hate SDNU, and then move over to become an RU main because it was a better tier to them. So it'll be interesting to see throughout the season how that all unfolds. Everyone's shifting around.
Yeah, that
Yeah, same with me. I don't know what I want to name.
Yeah, that's a fair assumption. Again, the SV meta is very fresh, so a lot of people are like figuring out what they want in their SV. Like, well, would they prefer a lower tier? Would they prefer a higher tier? It's all in the mood of a certain player. But for now, I think but in this case, I think Dunox is definitely a better contender here. Next up, we got SVNU Tog Key versus Axertix.
This is one I don't think will be close. I think I played Exortic. Their main is I know their PS username is something different than their Smogon name, right?
I'm pretty sure it's Exortix.
It's the same thing.
Either way, I think Toki is already in an NU, so I think they should have a clear advantage here.
I'm going to agree. However, I hear a lot of people hyping up Exortix to be better than we've been saying.
Mmm, that's interesting. I've seen more recent replays of Axertix. He's definitely improved over than when we ranked him in the tier list previously. I've seen better replays from Axertix. I definitely see a lot of improvement in SVNU, but I will go with Toki here as well.
Let's check something.
Do check away, PokeArt. What are you gonna check?
The Swiss playoffs.
Oh, oh right. That's a thing that's currently ongoing. I think Exortix is actually in that. But I think Toki. But for me, I think Toki is the better player here. Despite Exortix being hella like revamped after a couple of weeks ago, I think Toki still deserves a lot of the cred. I think Toki is a more established player, and the veterans always pick their spots and know how to exactly play the meta well. So Toki for me as well. Yeah, that's definitely a fun thing in BLT is that there are a lot of people who have like, oh, they come out of nowhere, and then BLT they started doing very well for themselves.
And I would just like to point out that both Exortix and Toki are in NU Swiss playoffs.
Let's go, both of them. Very nice. This could be good practice for them.
And they both are already at round 2 because they both got a bye.
Let's go. This could be the practice round for NU Swiss playoffs. So I can't wait to see how both of these will perform in this NU game as compared to what they'll do in the playoffs. All right, next up, SVPU. We got T Lennet versus Danny.
Hype, 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 hype.
Aren't
I like this matchup a lot.
aren't you all hyped yet?
I just yelled hype like 5 times.
I know. And I'm also quite excited. T-Lanet hasn't scored anything in SV, but he does get 2 S-Tours points, while Danny has one SV point. One overall. But don't let that deny you the fact that both these players are damn awesome. Both of them are definitely experienced in the lower tiers genre. Both have played PU to an immaculate degree back in Gen 8, and Gen 9 I think will be the same story again.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. I'm being skeptical on either of their involvement yet in SV and SVP specifically, but just all time, they're just both very solid players. Danny's a good friend of mine. He won it. I've taken with the book. Um, Assuming they both build or get past decent teams, I think this should be a really fun game.
Yep. So any predictions?
Speaking of teaming with Telenet, I teamed with them last year.
Did quite well last year as well. So any predictions, guys?
I would predict Danny.
Danny.
I would do Danny. Good defense.
All right, okay.
My gut is saying to land it, but I honestly do not know.
All right, I'm gonna go with your gut here, Pokehard, and I'm gonna go with T-Lenet. Despite Danny being great, I think T-Lenet could really surprise here with a win, especially since the Skeleturges they want someone in a lower tier, like with an absolute bone to pick, and TLN is definitely that player who is going to strive to really try to build to win for the Skeleturges, as opposed to Danny, who has a great team in its own right. He could just chill and or he could just chill and maybe lay off and pass a good build or team here and there. But don't let that count you out the fact that Danny can play well if given the right motivation. So I'm quite excited for this one. Huh?
You know, what you said about Telenet there sounded a bit contradictory to last year, but okay.
I mean, you never know. Players can change on a dime. Okay, so Danny.
No, I meant like building teams.
Oh, I know what you mean.
We like reused the same team multiple times last year.
Yeah, I know. Oh, Jesus. But yeah, I think I predict T-Leonard, but I think Danny will easily snatch away a win he um if he tries.
I don't know which is more involved in TU, so I can't really say.
All right, SVLC. This one is a big boy one. We got Greedy EB versus Ace Hunter 1. This one is hype.
This should be a good match. Yeah. I really like what I've seen from so far in Ace Hunter. Obviously, didn't have a great BLT last year, but he also has a second ribbon, which 99% of the players on the site do not have.
Yeah.
He's a great player in general, so this should be a good one.
Yep, exactly.
I hope he's doing better in LC this year.
Yeah, I hope so. After the train wreck that was last year, you'd think Ace Hunter would want a stronger record than, say, a 1-5 last year. Meanwhile, Greedy EB, definitely an up-and-coming player, definitely worth picking up after the run he had in the LC winter seasonal, losing only to Hacker. So this one should be a fun one. I can't wait to see both. I would actually pick. This one's tough. You guys pick first.
I'm gonna pick Greedy. Good luck because I want to see them come
Greedy. All right.
I think this is a toss-up, so I'm gonna Greedy.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna pick Ace Hunter by a hair.
This one's tough. I think I want to go with Greedy as well because I think Greedy's on a roll right now, and despite the fact Ace Hunter may take a loss here, I think he'll easily bounce back. Meanwhile, Greedy's on a roll, absolute roll, and I'm quite excited on how he'll do in specifically in SVLC. All right, next up, SVDOU. We got Chris Numbers, Chris 32 156 versus Akaru Kokuyo. Another sleeper of a highlight match, ladies and gentlemen. I'm quite.
I think, yeah, I was gonna say, I think Chris is actually really doubles from what I've known slash seen. Um, I know Akaru, I don't want to try to pronounce his name. I know he's an established doubles man. I know he's solid. And I know Chris is good. And I also know that I don't know shit about doubles.
Okay, Art, what do you think?
Can't say I know either player super well.
I will say this though, I will say this though, we severely underranked Akaru Kokuyo because the later replays I saw from Akaru are just so damn insane. I kind of want to put him in A tier. In hindsight,
Whoa.
What did y'all rank him as?
C.
See? Okay. Come on.
Nah, that was entirely. Yeah, that was entirely our miscalculation there. I think Akaru Kokuyo, I've seen better from now that I've now seen the light, and I've seen how great Akaru Kokuyo can be when he plays his best. I think he absolutely slays, and I think he's gonna take the win here. I think Akaru Kokuyo is easily gonna be the better player here for the two. Maybe Chris Numbers could build some wacky gimmick Hicks could to try and counteract what Akaru has been doing, but I think Akaru is the better player.
I'll with Akaru as well here.
I'll agree. I mean, I honestly thought from the start we quite underranked him based on what I was hearing. I'm like, see? For what I needed?
See, yeah, we fixed. We can fix it, guys. Akaru is good. Put him in A tier. All right. And finally, we got SV Monotype. We got Seru versus Mihawk.
I think Mihawk, McCoy is your cousin. Mihawk and McCoy.
Ha 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 ha. Despite, I wish I could be as good as my cousin.
For someone who was actually named Mihawk, who used to be a user in Taurus.
I wish I could be as good as both Mihawks.
There's another Mihawk?
Mihawk,
This is Mihawk.
yeah, Mihawk. Against Kermit Serotonin.
Well, I think Mihawk will win. I've personally seen more of him in actual tours. I've seen Serotonin in a couple of tours on tours. But I think Mihawk is the more established player. I've liked what I've seen from him in bigger tournaments.
Okay.
I find it interesting that, like, the whole room is in on the joke that Sarah is the non-type cheerleader.
That is
I'm
wow.
not sure why.
What kind of memes have you been bringing towards room? Anyway, Mihawk.
What?
If you pick Zero here, I'm gonna absolutely flip. Zero is improving though. I have been in a little, I've been doing kind of a deep dive on Zero and seeing if he can beat Mihawk. He has got a chance. I mean, it's Mono, so anything can happen, right? But Zero is actually kind of, okay. It's not horrible, but comparing him to Mihawk is the very, very high bar to set. So I think Mihawk will win, but let's see what Sarah can do.
I I'm just gonna ask, did they not have another possible starter for Mono?
Maybe.
Oh wow, you're really that low on Cyril, huh?
Put Cyril in for 10
Like,
weeks.
I don't think I wouldn't have thought Cyril. I wouldn't have thought Cyril would have been the starter.
Maybe he's gonna be a one and done. We'll see. We'll see what Fritzl and Ninja can cook up. Sarah versus Ificon next.
But yeah, I'll be rooting for Sarah because I want the children to win. But
Let,
I think Leon will win.
in order to restore the balance, let's root for the staff. All right. Next up, we got the Sunny Shore Snorlaxes versus the Anastar Articunos. This one is about to get spicy, ladies and gentlemen. Starting off in SVOU, Starmaster versus Shiloh.
I
Big boys doing big beefy things.
Yeah, I would probably say Star. I feel like he's in every single tour known to man on this site, and he has been for the past couple of years, just every single PL possible. Um, Shiloh, I think I've seen play a lot of older gens. I know it's obviously really good, and also around everywhere, but I just ever against Star here.
What about you, Pokeart?
I will be honest. I will be honest. I'm not actually sure if I've ever seen Shiloh play normal tiers. I've only seen them in TPP.
You've only seen them in same six. We did okay last year.
Yeah, regardless of usually being like okay at best in those, seriously, really good player. I don't know if they're cracked building. I don't know if that cracked building of his goes into normal tiers if it's just for Stream 6 though.
Comparing their S Tour records, Shiloh is actually 5 points in SV, 23 points overall. Most of them came from Sun and Moon. While Star has 30 points, with 17 of those coming from Scarlet and Violet. So this one's going to be a heavy Star meta because Star Master has definitely picked up OU. To say that is an understatement. I think Star Master is easily the better player of the two. Not easily. Shiloh can still play well, but Star Master is just that S tier of a player to really go the distance in terms of how he'll perform in SVOU. I think he's definitely one of the star players in the Snorlaxes. So we'll just have so if anything Star Master would lose to is that kind of a unfortunate matchup, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Shadow's a great player, but Star, I think, is one of the best players on the site right now. So, for that reason, I can't go against Star.
Yep.
For Shiloh.
Well, we would be rooting for Shiloh, but yeah, Star Master. Next up, JJ09 Lee versus Reginald in the other SVOU.
So, I'm going to take Reginald here because I feel like every year he's at least decently good, and he's always criminally underrated by everyone. Everyone always sees him on Raj, and I think he's a lot better player than some people might give him credit for. I would have taken near against JJ.
Yeah, Reginald's had some up and down years in BLT. One for a couple of years he can do pretty well, but other years he just isn't having the best luck.
That's definitely true.
So this is very apples and apples. JJ is on a well, I wouldn't say tear, but he's definitely like coming to his own in terms of SV metas in general, not just OU, but RU, NU, LC even. But Reginald definitely is a more strictly OU centric player, so maybe the edge goes to him. But JJ can be just as, wild and crazy as some other peoples would like to think. I would like to root for Raji, but I think I'm gonna go with JJ on this one.
Yeah, I'm actually not too familiar with JJ. Is he a newer sort of player that kind of came onto this like the last few months or so?
Yeah, he's a bit newer.
He is a bit newer.
That would make
Yeah, he's a bit newer. He's a bit more, it's a bit more fresh. Reginald's an old bean. Next up, SV Ubers. We got Genius from Hoenn versus Aberforth. Ah, yes.
I would say Aberforth. I don't rate Genius from Hoenn super highly, and I think Aberforth is a solid player.
To say this is a curb stomp is an understatement.
Yeah, I don't think this is close.
To say this is a curb stomp would be the biggest understatement. Genius from Hoenn can get lucky wins, I would guess, but it's Aberforth. How could you really bet against Aberforth?
I think you can bet against him if he's playing like FC or something, but that's not FC.
That's not FC.
Not any big name movers player either.
Ah,
Aberforth over.
sorry, Genius from Hoenn.
Yeah,
Good job on your first run, I guess. Um,
this is his first
well,
run.
no. I mean your first week, not first run, first week. Next up, SVU.
BLT before, but okay.
Next up, we have SVUU. We got Slip versus Avarice.
So
Ooh.
this should be a cool matchup. I'm gonna take Slip. I think Slip's a solid player. I think Avarice is very boom or bust. Either has super cool text that get the job done, or just goes down whenever he comes to fire.
Mm.
For that reason, I don't think Slip. I'm more confident in it.
What do you think, Pocket?
Interesting.
What do you think?
You speak.
Okay, so Slip is in UUFPL, and judging from how Gawain has been praising Slip, and from looking into Slip's replays a little bit more closely, he's definitely got a better grasp of the UU meta, the SV UU meta. Meanwhile, Avidus can just play any tier and do exceptionally well in some, but downright crippling in others. But in this case, I think Avaris is at a comfortable position where he could play his best and absolutely win. Slip is a more traditionalist. He's more traditional UU meta. Definitely worth the pay for the Snorlaxes if they want a good, reliable, solid UU centric meta like Slip. So I think I would like to agree by just a little bit. I think Slip. I will predict Slip on this one, but I won't be surprised if Avarice does bring his A game into this fight.
I think that's probably a fair analysis.
My gut's saying avarice.
Which is, well, your gut's never been wrong. It's been right too many times. Anyway, next up.
Well, usually when it has a different answer than you, Mikoi, I'm even getting it right.
That's a problem. I would like to rectify that with this BLT. Alright, next up, SVRU. Zeri versus Crying.
I would pick Zeri. Unfortunately, Zeri has had my number before. And a couple tours here and there. But I also think Zeri, his teams are sometimes, not always, but most of the time, his teams are pretty fiasco proof, which I think would be exceptionally useful against Crying. But at the same time, I can't undersell Crying at all. I know they play everything. They play everything super well. So should be a really fun one. But I'm gonna lean Spirit.
Ooh, okay. Okay, Art.
Oh, this is hard, but I believe in the power of Ziri.
All right. So, someone brought up recently that Ziri has been doing kind of not the best in NU. Even though
Are you?
but this is RU. But this is RU, which is a completely different meta than NU. Ziri is absolutely goated. If you've known us for so long, you would know that Ziri is absolutely one of the best players in tournaments in general, going up against another contender for greatest tournaments player of all time in the room and crying. Um, this one's gonna be definitely hard. Crying has done the S Tours thing, and then and saw Crying have 15 points in SV, 26 points overall, which is pretty damn nice. And Ziri hasn't been able to get any points in S Tours for some reason. But the point is, these players are absolutely goaded.
To be fair, in Ziri's defense, I will say I don't believe he plays the OU tours in Smart Tour. And also, his time zone is like plus 500, so I doubt he's even awake
I mean,
any of the times that tours are happening.
The power of the Asian time zones, let me tell ya, just ruins your brain. But yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's another advantage for him. We'll probably make Crime play at like 4 a.m. their time, so advantage clear to that.
he does tend to play at he does tend to play at my 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. Ziri does. Um, I will say this though. I think I'm gonna go with Crying on this one. Despite Ziri being very goaded, I think Crying has a better grasp of the SV meta as of currently, and so uh yeah, I think I'm thinking Crying on this one. Crying definitely has earned his keeps.
I don't think
Well,
there's
after hearing your analysis, Nicole, I think I'll also say Crying, but it'll be close.
SV.
It's true. I hear Crying is doing pretty well in SV, like really well.
Got 15
I'm not
points.
sure how Ziri is doing.
15 points in S Tours for a reason, Crying is. SVNU. We got Zora Dark versus Hachimaki.
Is this Mobby? Like, did he switch his name?
No, I don't think this is Maki's Fox.
Okay, this is a completely new person. A different Mobby.
Funnily enough,
So,
Hachimaki does have points in S Tours. He's got 1 point in the SV, but 5 points overall, which is pretty nice. Zora Dark, meanwhile, has 6 points in SS in terms of the S Tours thing. So
Actually, I don't know either of these players, so I don't really have thoughts on this one.
Zora Dark,
just take a look at Zorodark's profile and you'll realize, oh boy,
this dude's old.
they're experienced to say the least.
This dude's old. 2011. It's like early black and white meta.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Apparently, they used to be like the Wi-Fi battle Uber's cheerleader.
yeah,
According to Gawain.
yeah. This guy's been around for a while. Hachimaki though, these are two players who have I would like to describe as misunderstood hype because I don't think enough people appreciate how good Zora Dark is, and I haven't been able to grasp how good Hachimaki is. So this one is definitely a conflicting sort of match. I think I'm gonna go with Zoro Dark on this one just because of the experience and from the amount of times I've seen them compared to Hachimaki, which I'm still kind of iffy on, to be honest. They can play well, but it's a bit dicey compared to Zoro Dark, which is a more established.
Either player is new though.
Yeah. 20.
matches from 2015.
They definitely got some level of experience, but so are Dark Holder. So let's go for them.
Zorgark, I'll predict Zorgark because I've seen him play.
Hmm.
I've seen Zorgark play. He's pretty dang good.
All right. SVPU. We got Yes or No, My Dude versus Los Gono Shoto.
Let's go.
I feel like I've seen Yes or No, My Dude play Rams. I think he is pretty.
He's a Rams main.
Okay.
These are two Rams mains. Two Rams mains in the course of PU.
At least those, he played BLT last year. He did fairly well. I know he's been playing other tiers. I don't know if you have any intel on other tiers for Yes or No, My Dude.
Yeah, so yeah, I've been a fan of Los Gono Shoto ever since he came to Tour's Room. Ever since I've teamed with him in Team Balo, he's done very well for himself. He did pretty well last year, and I think he's on a roll right now this year as well. So I think Los Gono Shoto should be able to take a comfortable win for the Articunos.
I think this could be a close game because I think tour experience aside, Yes or No, My Dude is just a solid Pokemon player in general. And seeing they both have no for the SVPU, I think it'll be pretty equal, and it'll just come down to kind of team choice on both sides.
Right. All right. So next up,
I don't know what competitive tiers Yes or No, My Dude actually plays, but Let's Go can play like basically everything instantly or good. So I think Let's Go.
yeah, he's Los Gono is more of an all arounder compared to Yes or No, My Dude. So, next up we got SVLC. Now, this one is a matchup I'm very, very interested in and want to catch this one live. Elfuzon versus Gorax.
I think LFU should win this. I think LFU should be significantly favored here. He's been playing SVLC a lot, and I don't know if Gorax has.
I truthfully don't know either, but I heard Gorix is actually killing it in SV right now.
Yes, I did make a note on the tier list that Gorax has been actually doing really well for himself. He got that A tier on the tier list for a reason, guys. So he has been playing very decently well. Meanwhile, Elfuzon has been, would you say, is a little bit more. He's coming to his own. He's coming to his own in SVLC. I'm not gonna rag on the dude for being washed. But yeah, he's on the he's getting there. This one definitely this one's definitely a curious choice of matchup. Curious choice for both players to pick SVLC as their starting choice. But in terms of the LC experience, I would like to go with Elfuzon on this one. But I won't be surprised if Gorix wins.
I was gonna say I think it's a little unfair to call him washed, but he may just be having a couple rough patches because he has some very high highs, and I know sometimes he'll get really busy and he'll tilt. So he'll also have some low lows. But overall, I think Confusion is better here.
Mm-hmm. All right, SVDOU.
Okay, I think that's fair.
Oh, right. Okay, your prediction.
Hard to say. My gut is saying Gorax.
Interesting. We'll see what happens. SVDOU. We got SMB versus Faye.
I would say SMB. Nothing more to say other than this.
SMB is definitely goaded. Fayette is also pretty goaded. Now, this one is definitely a curious matchup. Both players are receiving hype a lot this matchup is getting the notoriety, the hype it deserves. Let's hope it doesn't turn out to be anticlimactic as some other um, notable hype matches have been in the past. And we all know what our track record is when it comes to hype matches. They always stink the bed. Um, but this one should be very interesting, though. I think both players are definitely killing it in both the doubles meta right now. My gut is saying SMB, but Fayette could easily pull off a win if given the proper prep and if he can outbuild a player of a caliber as SMB. So I'm interested in seeing what happens here. I'm gonna go with SMB.
Me too.
I can't not go with that something.
All right,
It's illegal to predict against SMB if it's unless it's not DOU.
SV monotype felines versus Siphicon.
So Felines is actually a really solid player. Um, they're on my UUFPL team right now, and they're doing a terrific job. I also teamed with them in it was PU World Cup. I don't know why I signed up for that either, but it was actually a fun tour. And Felines was our manager there, and he did a really good job managing. That's why I picked him up for UUFPL. But Silicon on the other hand is terrible. Maybe top 5 worst Pokemon players of all time. So I think Felines will win 6-0.
So Feline's definitely a player with a lot of hype, especially in SV monotype. Definitely a great player. Been getting to really been getting really to appreciate a lot of his games through more checking out replays. Feline's definitely like on the hit list in terms of players who could absolutely tear through the SV monotype competition. Siphicon is gonna have a tough battle ahead of him, but I think I'm going Felines.
To be fair, every battle is a tough battle for Silicon.
My boy, better come up some bed with some big ass straps. Garrett, your prediction?
I actually saw.
Hmm?
Felines, I guess.
Go ahead, Team Charm.
Yeah, I was gonna say I had actually one more thought to add here.
Mm.
The other week I actually saw Silicon face Lady Marita.
Mm.
Silicon was destroyed. It was a little upsetting to see, but yeah, it was bad. It was a beatdown.
That is a replay worth saving, Team Charm. If you could have saved that replay, we would love to see Siphicon being destroyed by Lady Manita.
Try and find it for y'all.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next matchup, we got the Primal Power Pangoros versus the Ice Path Iron Bundles. Ooh, your team, Pokeyard. We'll see what happens here.
Hi, team.
High team indeed. SVOU. Ciro Napoli versus Chaitanya. Kind of a hype matchup.
Yeah, I think this is a good game. I saw Skiro had a deep run in was OST, right?
He's got to top 4 of OST.
Yeah, that's very impressive with them. I used to always play them on the Ramband Slayer as well. I never thought they were too good. I thought they were okay.
Mm.
So I suppose it must have improved a lot to make a deep run at Smogon's biggest tournament like that.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, I would still lean Strike just because I think he's a better player in general. He's been more proven over the years. He's been playing Pokemon for a few years now, and Spiro seems to be just jumping on the scene now.
Mm.
I wouldn't say just jumping on the scene now, but yeah, he definitely has done this longer than him by a long shot.
Yeah, comparing Chate's Smogon And Sierra Napoli's here. Yeah, Shade's been around for quite a while and has seen every bit of monotype success and failures that has come about in the current over the years. This one's definitely a hard match on paper. Chaitanya's great at OU, but my heart says Ciro Napoli is gonna win. So I think I'm gonna go with Ciro just because the momentum from OST is very on the up and up. So I do think Chait is good, but the momentum from OST will push Ciro Napoli to even greater heights. So I think Ciro Napoli should win. All right. The other SVOU meta we got. All right, SVOU, the other one. Kebab Mini, Kebab Mimi, Kebab MLML, well, however you want to say it, versus Fat Batman.
Okay, I'm not gonna predict against anybody with the name Fat. Sorry, Pokemon. I know he was in. He has a red trophy, and he's no match for the Fat Batman.
But that red trophy was well earned. He went like 6'4" in his
SPL.
was it?
SPL, yes.
Just look at Fat Batman's spot-on profile picture.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Everyone on Twitter keeps saying that Batman sucks.
Oh my god.
He might suck, but I'm still gonna pick him every single week. I will do predictions.
Let's go. Fat Batman.
ABR, he can go up against Star and ABR.
Yo. My boy's getting the high praise from Team Charm.
Is this LCAP's like side account?
No, no, that's you.
That's crazy. So, alright, so Kebab MLML should take this one, but come on, Fat Batman, show us what you got.
Kebab has no chance.
Don't root for him, Mikoy.
Yeah.
We've lost Team Charm, but don't you root for him, Mikoy.
I'm still gonna predict Kebab if that's any indication.
All I'm saying is you might want to make sure that Kebab is well prepared for this match.
Let's go. I can't wait to see this matchup. And
I've been the top scatter on my team so far.
oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Alright. SV Ubers. My god. Can you get even more hype than this? Richard Millie Plain versus Layson.
Actually, you can get more hype than that, but that's a good match.
Should be a good matchup. I think Layson will win.
Ooh.
I don't really
I also think Layson will win.
Of course you would, Pokeart, but Team Charm, I'm curious. Why would you pick Layson?
I've personally seen more from them across a variety of stuff over the years. I haven't seen too much from Richard. I do know that they're a good Hoopers player, but I'm just gonna go with who I'm more familiar with here.
Yeah, this is another case of the same situation for me with Ciro Napoli versus Chaitanya earlier, in that Layson is an established Ubers main, no doubt about it. Can play really well. The Richard Millie Plain's on a roll in SV right now. Definitely like a player very worth considering if you want a strong and SV Ubers centric player in the form of Richard Millie Plain. This one's definitely going to be close. I think I'm leaning more towards Layson though, but I won't doubt Richard Millie Plain can take this one.
Well said, everyone.
SVUU. Trico, my man, versus DJ Berluminati.
Probably get the Spitfire here. I I've just seen him be more active lately. I feel like he's another guy who's just in every single tour possible. Um, I think he does fairly well in every tour he joins. So for that reason, I would pick him over TMM, who is also a solid player. So I don't think those would be a beatdown. But
So, this poses a different question for you, Poker. You've teamed with Spitfire in the past, and yet you're teaming with TMM now.
Yes.
This one's definitely like, so this one's definitely on my hit list in terms of matches I really want to see live. Both players are absolutely killing it in the SV meta. I think, despite TMM being such a cultured UU main, definitely has grasped the meta so well. Spitfire, can, as Team Charma said, can play any tier and any tier at a high level. I think I'm gonna give the nod to Spitfire, honestly. Despite TMM being great, I think Spitfire has been that eccentric wild card in tours that can just pull off wins whatever at the drop of a hat. I mean, look at last year's TLT, for example, and there's proof.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too confident, guys.
We'll see about that. SVR.
See, I have a trick up my sleeve.
Whoa.
We have a trick up our sleeve.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, woman. Alright. SVRU.
Well, it's not an illegal trick.
Well, let's just see what happens, shall we? Alright. SVRU. Just Franco versus Atrax Madara.
so I actually played Just Franco for UUFPL about a month ago, and this guy brought Soul. He stalled me in a UU farm league,
Ooh.
which I was not too happy about.
Hmm.
So for
Interesting.
that reason, I do think he's a good player, but I am not going to predict him to win. I will give a nod to HX, who I think is a decent player. He does a lot of different stuff. I thought he made mono, but I'll give him the nod because he doesn't stall me in farm for millions.
See, we have an even better mono player, so nah.
So yeah, Ajax Madera is always a player who I've been kind of hit or miss on. They definitely got the chops when it comes to how they interact with multiple of the tiers, but in terms of playing, just missing that little something that can overly push him into being a great player. They're good, but they're just on the cusp of being great. Meanwhile, Just Franco is a little bit more of a traditionalist. Again, I love me a good traditionalist in a certain tier, and Just Franco. The UU, RU, the lower tiers, I think Just Franco can easily play well. I am gonna go with the comfortable pick and go for Just Franco, unless Pokeyard will say something that will instantly surprise me in this matchup. But uh, we'll see about that.
Well, I think you forget that we actually. We see. I think you kind of forget our youth support here.
Oh, yeah. I just remembered who your art support is. Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right, you got that player.
We have three RU supports.
All right.
One of them's first line, I guess.
All right.
He's not there yet. But the other two are just as good.
I mean, yes, you got that player in the background, you know? The reason why we came to argue in the.
So don't be too confident, because our RU prep is really good. Our RU support is like the best for all of our tiers.
Yeah, you got R9 in the background.
On the bundles?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
assuming
we have
he's
R9.
okay. I'm assuming he's just busy. That's why HX is starting.
You can't play. Yeah, you can't play this week, but play next week though.
Oh boy, can't wait to see the release of Arse 9 the Beast yet again. All right, next up,
Yeah, I think.
Hmm? Go on.
I was gonna say, I think Franco is probably the better player. R9 support though
Ugh,
does change things, and like I said, I'm going with
You
Atrax.
said it was Arsenal support.
crazy,
It should be an match.
crazy.
He's
S.
kind
Hmm?
of MIA. The week, so he's not actually getting all that much support. But we have someone who's almost as good giving support, so that's fine.
All right. SVNU and Helio X7 versus MTB.
Um, I feel like this one's kind of even.
Hmm.
The only thing I know about Helio is I played them in a UU tour a couple months ago. I brought a team of 6 Reggies, and the 6 Reggies actually beat him.
Wow.
So,
Oh.
Wow.
I know he's a good player, and I know the 6 Reggies are a tough opponent for anyone, so I don't want to count that against him for losing to the 6 Reggies.
I don't want to
But
face the six
MTB,
Reggies. Oh.
I've not seen MTB lose to the 6 Reggies, so for that reason, I'm going to pick MTB. But I think they're both solid players, so we will see.
Mhm.
I believe in MTB. Is he in the NU Swiss playoffs? Or he was in NU Swiss, and I think he did well, but I don't recall if he's in playoffs or not.
So, N Helio is a player I've been secretly hyping up. I put him in A tier in the tier list for a reason. I think he's definitely much improved. As of now, though, he's kind of like on the lower end. Well, not to the point of detriment, but he's definitely coming to his own in SVNU. MTB, interesting player. Interesting that he'll start in the Iron Bundles for the NU slot in particular. I think I'm gonna go with Helio though, just for the courtesy of this prediction, and also for the fact that they're the better player. I think I'm gonna pick Helio. MTB, we gotta bring your best, kid. Good luck.
Hey, he's good. He's better than you think.
All right, we'll see. SVPU, Ryuji versus Medaya.
I don't know either of these players.
Okay, you want to?
Ryuji's good. Madara, look, I admittedly don't know that much about Ryuji. I guess he likes playing lower tiers stuff. Same case with Medaya. And Medaya is doing every old gen tier known to man.
Wow.
Oh, Team Charm, I see what you did there.
Ah.
I was gonna say I just sent the 6 Reggies replay.
Oh boy. I'm gonna catch that game later. Anyway, Medaya Ryuji, both players with a little bit of uncertainty in them. Both players.
As I was saying,
Go ahead.
as I was saying, Medaya seems to be a low tier player. A lower tiers player. I did not mean low tier.
Wow. The shade, yo. The shade.
And well, since my teammate wanted a scout, I looked. So they either haven't touched SDP or they've just hidden all of the replays really well. They've done basically no smoking for it.
That's why I haven't been able to
find a single damn replay.
That's why I haven't been able to find replays on Medaya. Interesting. Ryuji though.
All I know about
Mhm.
I know Medaya. I know one thing about Medaya. They play a lot of old gen PU. That's all I could find. It was just like a lot of very old gen PU.
So that's not that could be kind of an indicator, I guess, through retroactively, just kind of getting the idea of how Medaya plays in PU, not specifically SVPU. Ryuji though is a player I have been I've been trying to research on Ryuji for quite a bit, trying to be able to get a grasp on how Ryuji plays. They're good. From the replays I've seen, they're good, but is it enough for me to pull up against Medaya? Possibly. So this is a player. These are two players with a lot of uncertainty. So I am very much looking forward to how this matchup plays out. I think I want to go Ryuji on this one, just because I've seen them more, but we'll see. Next up, SVLC Drifting versus Xskelly.
I think drifting's probably better here.
Ooh, Drifting over Skelly.
Yeah, I think drifting's played this tier more, and I vaguely remember X Kelly from last year. I don't remember anything too memorable that they did.
I can tell you about him from last year. He went 2-2. He played LC and PU.
He did all right last year. Nothing. He did all right last year. Nothing too spectacular.
One win in LC, one loss in LC, and wait, no, I think he lost twice in LC, won once, and won once in PU.
Yeah, he did okay.
LC pool was stacked.
He did okay in LC in last year's BLT. Nothing too special. Drifting, yes, I will agree with Charm here in the saying that Drifting is a good player. Definitely has improved in LC in the current LC meta as of late. But you can never count out Scaly out. You just can't. He can absolutely pull off wins when you least expect it. So for that reason, hmm?
I don't feel like this is one of the more favorable matchups for Skelly. However, LC players were kind of scarce in this pool.
Yeah. Oh.
People were gone really quick, and Roxy was left trying to buy whatever they could.
Yeah.
That was just labeled under LC.
Wasn't.
And I'm like, Roxy, see that guy? The one called X34?
Get him.
Good. Get him for like 3K or something, and that's a good 3K pick. Like, really good.
Yeah, the LC.
Have either of y'all played SDLC at all?
I don't want to talk about mine.
I have. And
it's bad.
It's a tier. It's probably the tier of all time.
So I've played most of these tiers except for DOU, obviously. And I think SDLC might be my least favorite tier on this entire site. That means worse than Gen 1. So worse than Gen 1 UU.
Whoa!
Gen 1.
Oh!
I think
my heart breaks.
SDLC is terrible.
Yeah, I don't like SVLC. I think it's worse than SS or SMLC. It's way too janky of a meta to really get a grasp on, and I'm glad that players like Hacker or Ace Hunter or Greedy EB have been able to find success in that tier, especially. So yeah, I don't like SVLC. So yeah, this matchup on paper seems interesting. I think I want to lean towards Skelly, but only a little bit, slightly, because the experience. And but by no means, by that no means is Drifting a bad player. He can take this win if he plays his best. SVDOU, Raph versus the Cheesin' One.
As someone with no doubles knowledge, I'm gonna go with the one I'm more familiar with. So I will pick Mr. I Want Potato to sit on me.
You are bold saying that name in the flesh. Um,
Like, who, what is a taco? What is an taco? I should ask.
Probably
I'm
some.
assuming that's an anime character.
Yeah, probably.
Anime girl.
Yeah, probably some. Yeah, probably some anime girl that I'll definitely put on my to watch list. Maybe in the future. I don't know. We'll see. Um. Yeah, cheese and one. Experience, Raph experience as well. I don't know how they do in SV doubles. Maybe they're good, maybe they're bad. Who knows? Um, I hope Cheese comes up with some prep. So I think I'm gonna go. Just comparing these two on a whim. I think I'm gonna go with Cheesin, but Raph could pull this off if he has a great build and he has good support. So yeah, this should be an interesting one as well. Go cheese, I guess.
I think the cheese in one shall win. And I feel bad for them. If you want to know something that's kind of funny,
What?
when they first arrived into the Iron Bundle server, they had the username Cheese,
Uh huh.
and and Roxy's like, who this? Say your name.
Oh my god.
And he just kind of forced him to say the full thing.
Wow. Okay. Nice bait there, Roxy. All right. SV Monotype. Maroon versus Azik. This one has already been played. We'll talk about that one next week, along with the rest of the results. Shall we?
Isaac is a goat.
Hmm?
I said Isaac is a goat.
We'll talk about how next week. Last up, we got the Dressrosa Dracovishes and the Resort City Rufflets. Two old BLT teams. Well, old as in like a couple of years, but you get the point. SVOU. We got Clean versus Piyush.
So clean is really bad. He's probably gonna destroy.
Nice confidence in your teammate.
Okay.
So, Garrett, who do you think?
Uh, I I don't freaking know.
You've seen both. You know.
I've seen Clean. Is he actually good in SV though?
Team Charm?
It's terrible.
Oh boy. Well, I can tell you this though: Clean and Piyush are both evenly matched players. From what I've seen, they're both even. They're nothing to like. Nothing's leaning me one way or the other on how good their SV is. So I think I want to go with Clean on this one, just because they've had more success in the past than Piyush. But we'll see about that.
So
And,
this just in, so God actually just sent me a new replay. And, I guess it wasn't Snippy Fire who lost to Lady Margarita. It was actually clean.
oh. There's some that one in the chat. All right. SVO.
If I don't see it in the chat, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
Me too. Me too. SVOU. SVOU. Another matchup that is destined to be the great amongst the great SVOU matches here. Starreal versus FC.
How are you rolling your R's like that?
It's in the tongue. Staril versus FC. This one should be pretty nice. Actually, I haven't been checking this lately. What's the S Tour record for this one? Staril is at 8 points with no SV points. FC, meanwhile, has 14 points with 4 points. Interesting. So I know both these players.
Interesting.
So I know both these players. Both these players very, very well. FC, as you may know, is an Uber's main, but very goated OU main. Stariel, traditional, tried and true OU main. This one's tough. Very tough. Pokert, who would you pick?
I don't really.
What does your gut say?
My gut is having trouble.
Get to the hospital. We have.
No, I was there a couple months ago. I don't need to go back.
So, I'm gonna go with FC because I think FC is that much goated, but Stariel can easily pull off wins if he plays like the Stariel we all know and love. Next up, SV Ubers, we got Amescred versus Tack Attack. I wonder, Charm, what has been the prep with Boyne lately?
So, the only team member of mine I'm going to predict to lose would be Clean. The rest of us will all win. So,
My boys.
should be a 9-1 lead.
My boys.
Besides Clean, all of our prep has been immaculate. Our scouting has been amazing. And
Alright.
we're all going to win. Except for Clean.
Nice touch.
What's gonna cause Clean to lose? Is it just that bad?
It's terrible.
Oh my god. Alright, Pokert, what do you think?
Oh, right, we're on the other side. So, Innsbruck just won the SM Uber something or other.
He won a tour in SM Ubers.
Yeah, he won an Uber's tour like a couple days ago. That's pretty good. So he's doing quite well in Uber's right now.
Yeah, nothing really much to say here. I think Boyne is definitely improving as an Ubers player. Definitely worth picking up if you want a solid Ubers main. Not exactly the strongest, but a solid one is well and sufficed. Attack. Haven't seen too much of them to really, to really get an opinion of them. I will check them out as the weeks go on. But I think Boyne. I definitely do think Boyne is going to win here. Next up, SVUU. Oh my god, this matchup is number one in my highlights. Shiba versus Udon Girl.
The famous Udon Girl.
Oh, Charm. Charm, you are going to miss Udon Girl badly. You're facing off against her team.
Well, I did let our team know we needed to prep for level 1 Toba Maduro, as well as
Fair enough.
specs random mods. Expect a choice item on any mod, no matter what it is, even if it's chancy.
Fair enough, Charm. I will give you points on that.
I was particularly fond of a certain choice mod as the lately, but I won't reveal it.
I will. Yeah. Oh boy. Maybe Shiba will cook up something. Who knows? But yeah, this one definitely the most unpredictable matchup on paper. Both players are absolutely goated. Let's see if Shiba can do better than they did last year. I'm gonna predict Udon Girl, unfortunately, because Udon Girl is. I think
I'm gonna predict your Don Girl too.
Udon Girl is definitely, the dark horse in this one against a big boy like Shiva. But we'll see. SVRU. Can you say old? Can you say boomer? Can you say the old guard hath returneth? MJ versus Plus. Man, I feel I aged 10 years just saying those names. Both player.
Worked on this site for 10 years.
I aged 10 years saying those. Interesting that Plus is playing RU. Not I think LC and doubles are definitely taken, but it's interesting that he's starting off in RU against MJ, who's also kind of surprised that I see him start RU. Both players are definitely good in singles tiers in the past. I don't know much about SV though, but I've seen their most recent replays, and they're both been all right. They've been all right, all right. Who are we picking, Poke Art?
I think MJ.
Hmm. Charm, you're about to say something?
That's
I wouldn't be surprised if Glass wins. I just always associate Glass with LC/doubles, and I feel like MJ can I feel MJ is probably better in other tiers.
Mm-hmm.
MJ's having a resurgence. He's gonna have a career here. That's all I'm gonna say. So watch out for MJ.
Whew. I can't wait to see current MJ in SV. We'll see what happens. Next up, we have Team Charm versus Skimmy the God in SVNU. Very interesting first opponent you have, Charm.
Yep. I have to play a god the first week.
Yeah.
Most people get just a normal person to play a god, so I'm
Be
a
afraid.
little nervous, but
Be afraid. Be
get
very
prepped.
afraid.
I'm gonna pray to the other gods that I can take down Skinny, and we'll see how it goes. The other gods that aren't named Skinny.
So, Pokeart, how would you like to predict this?
Uh, hmm.
There's only one right answer.
I know, right?
Sorry, I was distracted. Team Farm totally wins this.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Team Charm on this one as well. Skimmy may be good, but NU isn't exactly his strongest here. So, why didn't they put him in Ubers?
Should be a fun game.
Why didn't they put him in Ubers? That's Ainscrad versus Skimmy would be a hell of a good game.
Maybe he really likes you.
Yeah, maybe.
He's probably the better Ubers player.
Oh, okay.
They also have FC, so why would you slot in Skinny there when you have Tag Attack and FC?
I
will say I was fully expecting to play TR1. He's on their bench right now, but that's who I was expecting to play.
ACR1. Yeah, can't wait to see him. Can't wait to see ACR1 compete in the coming weeks. But yeah, this should be a Team Charm win. There's no two ways about it. Team Charm, good player. That's all you can say.
Should be a good game. I'm excited for it. I believe we're going to play either Saturday or Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern. So be there or be square.
I'll be there. We'll be there. SVPU. Dugza versus Tenebrisite. Now, highlight match on paper. This is my sleeper highlight match.
So I think Tenebrisite has too many syllables in his name. And for that reason, Doug's is going.
Okay, Art, what do you think?
I I just think Doug's will win because he's probably better because he's goaded.
Right. So I seem to be the only one. I seem to be the only one here that actually is a fan of Tenebraside because after seeing how he played in Tor's Plaza Classic and seeing more of his more recent replays, Tenebraside is not one to sleep at, y'all. He's actually pretty good. So Doug's
Yeah, but is he better than Doug's though?
no, I will still predict Doug's to win, but but Doug's is gonna have a hard fight. I can tell because do not sleep on Tenebraside. He's a dark horse if he plays well. He can absolutely play goaded if he does well. So yeah, Doug's for my prediction, but I'm rooting for Tenebraside. SVLC, Loki fan versus hacker. Charm, how do you prep against the hacker?
I think against him, you kind of just have to click. I think he's a good player. He can be difficult to play against, and I think this tier is terrible, so nobody wins.
Yeah. Nobody wins in SVLC. It's terrible meta. How do you guys do it? Learn. I want to learn the LC meta.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think they need to get rid of Terra, and then it will be a lot better.
Yeah. Okay, what do you think?
I think I'm sick of ghost spam. I
Me
think
too.
hacker.
Me too. Yeah, I'm thinking hacker as well. Loki fan is gonna have a very, very hard time going up against hacker. Hopefully he'll prep with something nice. Hopefully he'll show us what he can do against a goaded player like hacker. So we'll see. SVDOU Zern versus Aragon. Another highlight match for the record. These week one matches keep on giving hits after hits after hits. So Pokeart, who do you think?
That's surprising. That's only week one. I don't really know.
Both players are goaded. Way too goaded for our tastes. I'm thinking Zern, to be honest. Yeah, I'm thinking Zern. I honestly think Zern because Zern has been more recent replays have shown that Zern is much improved over Gen 8. So and Aragon's no slouch though. Aragon has been absolutely killing it in his own right. But I think Zern is better. So I think I'm going with Zern.
No, I don't really know.
Mm, all right. And finally, the matchup the final matchup on this week is JoJo Numbers versus TDR. So Charm, how does JoJo play? I've been curious on this one.
JoJo is JoJo's a really solid player, so I think he should have no problem beating TDR this week.
TDR is kind of good too. It's mono, so it's extremely even between the two. But if you say JoJo Numbers is good, then I'm looking very much forward to this one. I think I want to lean. Huh?
I did tell you that I was going to predict everyone on my team to win,
Yeah.
except for the first one.
Sorry, Clee. um, I think I want to go with JoJo as well. After thinking about it more, I think JoJo Numbers is probably the better player of the two. But we'll, but we'll see.
I think we'll have to work for this win here, but
Yeah.
it'll be a good week. I'm excited.
Well.
Excited for some more BLT.
Yeah. Roger's solid. Raj is a solid pick. You guys also have a solid team and lineup ahead. So I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to everyone's performances this week, and hopefully we'll see some hits and hopefully less misses. Please. What's your prediction on the JoJo TDR match?
JoJo, easily.
Ah, all right. And that's all she wrote, ladies and
Never
gentlemen.
been that high.
Huh?
I've never been that high on TDR as a player.
Ooh, all right. Shows you how shows you how much the perception of the tours changes. Anyway, that will be the end of this video. Team Charm, thank you so much for joining me and PokeArt on this first episode of the week 1. Hopefully we'll get to see more of
Of course.
yeah, hopefully we'll get to see more of you in the future.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all having me. It was fun.
And with that, please like this video.
Yeah, but just saying, if you're on again, it won't be as fun because it'll be longer.
Right. That's okay.
Get ready for 3 hours of recording. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Please like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe. Click that notification bell so you wouldn't miss that videos once they come out. We'll see you next week for week 2 and week 1 recap. Anyway, this has been Mikoy.
Yeah.
This has been Mikoy, signing out.
So long.